Alejandro Garnacho. So it's looking like potentially Caicedo might drop into right back, and that will allow Garnacho to be in that 3 behind Pedro Neto. 2 games in the Premier League so far that are completed. Brighton 2, Liverpool 1 was the early kick-off. Fulham got a 3-1 victory at home to Burnley. And it's currently Everton 1, Chelsea 0. And Leeds play Brentford in the 8 o'clock kick-off. And there's obviously commentary on Flash Score for that one. So join Joshua Adildunker for that one. But we are back underway, and it's the home side that are going to be shooting from left to right in this first half. And they've gone long straight away, and it's just nodded back to Robert Sanchez, who's already under pressure here as he clears the ball left-footed towards Garnacho, but Jake O'Brien gets there first. The ball bouncing around in midfield, but another good direct ball forward by Romeo Lavia, releases Palmer, and then finds Pedro Neto, who started on the right-hand side of this second half as Garnacho's come out on the left. Enzo Fernandez seems to have dropped a little bit deeper alongside Romeo Lavia to allow Cole Palmer with number 10 on the back into that number 10 role. So Liam Rossini obviously not happy with what he saw in the first half, and it's a mixture of Lavia and Caicedo that look like they're going to fill in that right back position. Lavia back in the side this evening. His first Premier League start since October. And had a very good first half as Garnacho manages to put the ball into the box for the first time, but it's cleared away, but only to the feet of that man Lavia, who's 35 yards from goal. Plays it out to Pedro Neto on the right-hand side now in this second half. Goes back to Caicedo, and Chelsea will now work it over to the left as Hato finds Garnacho. Long sleeves for Garnacho, number 49 on his back, and he plays it into Cucurella, whose cross cannons off of Ghana Gay, then back against the Spanish fullback, and that'll be a goal kick. Garnacho obviously made that move from Manchester United in the summer. Has managed to get 1 Premier League goal. Scored quite a few in the Cups. He won't be overly happy with his league return, and he'll be looking to add to that this evening here in Liverpool as Everton come forward. As Beto, the goal scorer, manages to wriggle away from his marker, then plays it out to Dwight McNeil on this right hand side. He clips the ball in towards Beto. It's headed away by Hato, but only behind for a corner. It'll be Everton on this near side that can deliver a ball into the box. So Everton slowly making their way forward. Tarkowski, Keane, O'Brien all now getting into the Chelsea box. Pedro Neto's waving his arms frantically to try and get some help as he's up against Michael Keane at the moment. It's going to be Dwight McNeil to deliver a left-footed in-swinger from this near side. He's got Ndiaye as a short option if he wants, but he does go towards the back post, and it's Tarkowski that heads it down, and it's well claimed by Sanchez just ahead of Beto. Bit of a mismatch at the back post there, and Tarkowski managed to get away, trying to nod it down into the path of Beto, but well gathered by the Spanish keeper, and Chelsea can come away inside the Everton half with Garnacho, but he's forced backwards to Cucurella. Chelsea will try down the right hand side now with Caicedo, who seems to be settled into that right back role now. He switches it for Garnacho, who picks it up level with the edge of the area on the left hand side. 2 back with him, plays it infield to Fernandez, who tries to give it back to his fellow Argentine, but Jake O'Brien will mop it up and clear it long. Beto flicks it on, but there's no one there, and Chelsea will recover possession with Lavia on the halfway line, who's one of the shining stars for Chelsea in that first half, in my opinion. Seems to have settled back into the pace of the Premier League well. Had a horrendous time with injuries for Chelsea since that move from Southampton. Cucurella just inside the Everton half. Plays a 1-2 with Garnacho, and Chelsea will just settle into that rhythm again of just passing it to and from on the back line, trying to drag those blue shirts out of position, but Beto and Dewsbury Hall will press before Everton go right now to Pedro Neto, who comes in field and plays it into Cole Palmer. Had a relatively quiet first half. His ball down the line to João Pedro is not a good one. Jordan Pickford can launch it long, but returned quickly by Fofana. And it's the away side in white and grey this evening that have settled into this second half. Pedro Neto again wriggles away from his man, finds Caicedo, who's gone quite inverted in that right back role, but that's been stolen away, and now Dewsbury Hall is in behind Caicedo. He can break up the pitch on the left hand side, gets to the corner of the box, and then slows up and finds Senegalese midfielder Ndiaye. Plays it infield to Dwight McNeil, clips the ball in towards Ndiaye, but headed away by Fofana, and Lavia can carry it clear. His ball into Fernandez is stolen away by James Garner, and forward come Everton again with Garner Gay. Tries to play it into Beto, but stolen away by the long locks of Marc Cucurella. 6 minutes gone in this second half. It's been scrappy from both sides, but Chelsea trying to settle into possession after making that change at half time. It's Garnacho, the sub, who plays it into the feet of Cucurella, who finds Enzo Fernandez in the central position. Drifts forward, but it's stopped by Dewsbury Hall, and Everton can try and come away now with Beto. Flicks it in. Brilliant block again by Lavia, who plays it forward, and Chelsea find Enzo Fernandez. Then Garnacho on the left-hand side. Comes in field on his right foot. Everton with everyone back behind the ball to slow up proceedings. So all the way over to the right-hand side now for Pedro Neto, who comes in on his left foot. And I will battle away and steal it off him, but Chelsea can keep possession. But under a bit of pressure here as Everton press up towards the halfway line. Cucurella does well to shrug off Dwight McNeil and then finds Lavia in the centre circle. Caicedo over on that right hand side now after the half-time substitution. Finds Garnacho, jinks forward and then infield, plays it into Fernandez and makes a run to try and get the ball back, but between Dewsbury Hall and Garner Gay, they steal it away, and it's the former Chelsea man Dewsbury Hall that brings it forward. Plays it out to the right hand side for Dwight McNeil, but his pass is a poor one, and it's a bit of a basketball game at the moment as Chelsea now come forward with Cole Palmer. Breaks forward, goes inside on his left foot, floats past James Garner, still going, but as he plays the ball into João Pedro, he loses his footing, and it's now Everton's chance to steal the ball away. Everton just slow the game up, and some neat passing between Dewsbury Hall and Garner Gay, and it's now Ndiaye forward on the left hand side. Got Wesley Fofana for company, so just spins away down the line and keeps possession. Got options ahead of him, but chooses to go back to Mikalenko, plays it down the line for Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall nips the ball away from Caicedo, and that'll be a free kick for the Blues. Caicedo just got to be careful. He is on 9 yellows for the season and would face a 2-game ban if he picks up a 10th. But Sam Barrett keeps his cards in his pocket on this occasion. Good chance here for Everton to throw the big men forward again as Tarkowski, Keane and O'Brien venture forward. James O'Brien at the back post, and it's going to be Garner to deliver this one. It'll be from the far side. It'll be a right-footed in swinger. Everton trying to surround the penalty spot. Chelsea holding a slightly higher line as Garner comes in. It's a deep one. It's going to go all the way towards the goal, and Sanchez claims it, and then looked like he was going to fall into his net. And he's managing to keep the ball out but has gone down here with an injury. It's an in-swinging ball that travelled an awful long way, and Sanchez ended up standing on the side netting as he claimed the ball. He's done very well to keep it out of the goal in the end, but I think he's probably done a little bit of damage to one of his ankles here as he got tangled in the net. The Spanish keeper is back up and Chelsea are back underway. 55 minutes gone. It's still Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Beto's 33-minute goal separates the two sides. And it's Everton that are staking their claim for some European football currently at the moment. But João Pedro spins away from his marker and tries to play a 1-2 with Cole Palmer, but it's snuffed out by Everton. Beto with some brilliant hold-up play finds Dewsbury Hall, then Ndiaye on the left-hand side. Beto's continued his run and picks it up deep inside the Chelsea half. Plays it back to Ndiaye, but it's just behind him. Okay, Caicedo can put a foot in and forward come Chelsea. Cole Palmer, not a lot of options ahead of him, so goes back into midfield where Lavia then plays it back to Cucurella on the halfway line. Fernandez drops deep and picks the ball up as Cucurella continues his run into the feet of João Pedro. He goes down under a push from Michael Keane, and then there's actually ruled a free kick against the Brazilian striker, who stands up and shouts "How!" Don't need to be a lip reading specialist to pick that one up. Michael Keane was just too strong for him there. João Pedro ended up laying on the ball, and then it's been given as handball against him. Chelsea going to make another change, and it's Andre Santos who's going to replace Romeo Lavia. Hopefully that's just Chelsea managing the Belgians' minutes, because he's had an impressive 56 minutes here in what is a losing battle at the moment. There's Brazilian Andre Santos to come on. Very well known to manager Liam Rosenior, as he had him at Strasbourg on loan last year. He's played quite a few minutes since Rosenior's taken over, and Everton will want a free kick here deep inside the Chelsea half on the right hand side. Cucurella has been adjudged to have fouled Jake O'Brien. Just a little bit late after O'Brien nipped the ball away. So another opportunity for Everton to deliver this ball into the box. So it's on this right hand side. It's Garner and McNeil that are in conversation about who's going to deliver. McNeil would offer an in-swinging option. James Garner, whose delivery has been pretty good all evening so far, would curl it away from Robert Sanchez, but we'll find out. Garner puts his left arm in the air, and it is him to come forward and strike the ball. He puts it in on top of the keeper, who juggles it but does claim eventually. And Robert Sanchez sprints to the edge of his box and rolls it out to the right hand side where Enzo Fernandez can bring it away, but Dewsbury Hall does really well to go over and smother that attack. That'll be a throw into Chelsea inside their own half on the far side. Moises Caicedo with ball in hand, playing right back in this second half after Garnacho came on at half time, trying to steal as many yards as he can down the line. Throws it to João Pedro's ball towards Pedro Neto is a bad one, and that will be thrown for Everton. David Moyes and Leighton Baines in deep discussion on the touchline as we approach the hour mark. Plenty of big games in the Premier League tomorrow as Everton come away on the left hand side. It's Beto who gets away from Caicedo and comes in on the edge of the box, but has to go back out to Jake O'Brien. He's going to clip that in towards the back post where Dewsbury Hall will win the header. Beto will fight for it, but stolen away by the away side, and Pedro Neto can come forward. So yeah, plenty of games in the Premier League tomorrow, some big games as well, and obviously it's the EFL Cup final as the top two go head to head at Wembley. Arsenal against Manchester City. Three Premier League games: Newcastle, Sunderland, Aston Villa, West Ham, and Tottenham, Nottingham Forest. So plenty of crucial games going on as Chelsea have possession on the left hand side. Garnacho spreads it across all the way to the far side for Cole Palmer. Everton with everyone back behind the ball apart from goal scorer Beto. Almost got a back six at the moment as Garnacho comes forward, goes on the outside. His cross is blocked, but it will fall at the feet of Enzo Fernandez, who spreads it out of his feet, and just, it's a great save by Jordan Pickford away to his left-hand side. He had men running in front of him, and Enzo was trying to curl it into that far corner, and that was definitely tucking in at the far post. There's another good save from England's number one, who's looking to keep his 11th clean sheet of the season if he can, as the corner comes in, headed away by Mikalenko, but back out to the corner taker. It's picked up in the deep by Cole Palmer, who will swing a cross in left footed, but too much on that, and that will go into the Everton fans behind the goal, and that will be a goal kick. Jordan Pickford just taking his time, takes a big swig from his bottle, dries his bright white gloves on his towel. And a man who is probably an absolute shoe-in for England's World Cup campaign as long as he stays fit. Already England's record tournament appearance player. And he's been here for 9 seasons now, and I'm sure he will be England's number one in the summer. And Everton can break forward here as Garner Gay steals it and gets all the way to the edge of the box, plays it into Beto. He's going to shoot. It's going to go through the legs of Sanchez, who lets it go through and over the line. And Beto doubles the lead. It's a howler from Robert Sanchez, whose night doesn't get any better. And Beto has now got 6 for the season. A very simple breakaway from the Toffees. Garner Gay travelled a long, long way, slid it in down the right-hand side for Beto, and the pass was a little bit short. And all he could do was swing his right foot at it, and it's gone straight through Robert Sanchez. Gone between the keeper's legs, and it's trickled over the line. Sam Barrett looked at his watch, and it said goal, and it's all come from a real poor pass from Andre Santos, and it's a classic breakaway goal for David Moyes, and Robert Sanchez will be thoroughly disappointed. But brilliant break-up play from Idrissa Gana Gueye, who then burst forward, slid in Beto, and it's 6 for the season, 2 on the night for the African striker from Guinea-Bissau. And Everton will put some pressure on Brentford if the score stays the same, as they play at 8 p.m. 63 minutes gone, it's Everton 2, Chelsea 0. David Moyes in absolute delight on the touchline. And Beto finds himself one away from a hat-trick. Liam Rosenior shakes his head as he knows that he's staring down the barrel of potentially 4 defeats in all competitions in a row. It will be 2 in a row in the Premier League unless something can happen here for the away side. They're in possession as Hato tries to play the ball into the box. It's clipped away and just skid off the surface, and Beto won't be able to retrieve that one. Beto, who's shared that striker role all season with Thierry Barry, pulls level with the Frenchman in terms of league goals now, 6 for the both of them, and that makes them equal with Kiernan Dewsbury Hall as well, who is the league's top scorer for the Toffees. 3 of them now on 6. And you've got to wonder whether Tieno Barry and Beto, who just seem to swap with each other so often, both of them have played at least some minutes in every Premier League game. You've got to wonder whether Tieno Barry might miss out as Beto goes in pursuit of a hat-trick. But forward comes Enzo Fernandez, tries to clip a ball in towards Garnacho. It's cleared away, recovered by Andre Santos, whose sloppy pass led to that goal. Ball out to Cucurella, finds Fernandez, but Everton were just with everyone back and they're swarming as close to those white shirts as possible. Garnacho goes down, but play on, says Sam Barrett. Garnacho still rolling around on the floor as Jake O'Brien had potentially stood on him in that tackle, but he's now back on his feet. Very disgruntled, the Argentine winger. Hobbles away, but Chelsea still in possession in midfield. It's Santos in the lime green boots, fizzes it over to Enzo Fernandez, who tries to creep forward, plays it into Cucurella. Back out to Garnacho, who seems to be moving okay now. Inside to Santos, who tries to flick it through, but it's going to be lashed long by Jordan Pickford. There's no one up there in a blue shirt, though, and Moises Caicedo and Wesley Fofana will keep possession for Chelsea. A win here for Everton would be 3 wins in the last 4 Premier League games for David Moyes' side as they try and cement one of those European positions. You never know really until the end of the season how many it would be. They must be eyeing top 7 at least, and a win this evening would put them 7th before Brentford play Leeds. It's been a fantastic season, first season here at the Hildington Stadium, and Everton come forward again. It's Mikalenko on the left hand side. He's going to put a left-footed ball into the box, but an easy touchback by Hato to Sanchez, and the ball is cleared long. Foul by João Pedro, who's cutting an incredibly frustrated figure, leading the line for Chelsea. Tarkowski lays on the floor with a wry smile on his face. And Liam Rosenior just calling back for some of his subs from the corner. Got to think that Estevao will probably be one of those, the exciting Brazilian. So free kick for Everton, 67.5 minutes gone, and they're 2 goals to the good here at home to Chelsea. And it's a free kick just outside the centre circle, which James Garner will clip in towards the back post. Headed across by Tarkowski, up in the air by Fofana, but not really cleared as Chelsea do eventually scramble it to the edge of the box. But Dewsbury Hall will pick it up and deliver in left-footed towards Beto, but Garnacho can volley it clear. It's a sea of blue shirts who will pick it up, and Michael Keane just decides to turn around and give that to his goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, who drills it left-footed up towards Beto, but it's going to be returned by Chelsea and they can break here. There's men to the left as Garnacho breaks into the box, cuts back on his right foot, but between Garner and Tarkowski, they tidy up the mess. Jordan Pickford raises his hand in apology, he knows that wasn't a good ball from him. And strong tackle from Andre Santos, wins the ball back for Chelsea. Garnacho goes down off the ball and play on as Enzo Fernandez picks it up in the box, and his shot is saved by Jordan Pickford, and that'll be a corner. And Everton just a little bit ragged when they don't need to be at the moment. Dwight McNeil is still down holding his ankle. There might be some tidying up to do here for Sam Barrett and potentially VAR. It was a really strong tackle from Andre Santos. And then there was a off-the-ball incident between O'Brien and Garnacho. Garnacho went down holding his face. And then the corner happened. Not really much in the O'Brien and Garnacho situation. O'Brien just had his arm out, and Garnacho's managed to talk himself into a yellow card with referee Sam Barrett. So that'll be a second yellow of the season for the Argentine winger. Chelsea made another change, and it's exciting. Brazilian Estevao's come on for Pedro Neto. Corner delivered by Chelsea, headed away strongly by Michael Keane, and will be picked up inside his own half by Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer forced backwards by Dwight McNeil, and then has to go all the way back to Robert Sanchez. Sanchez goes long, 70 minutes on the clock. Still the home side, 2 goals to the good here. 2-0 up at the Hale Dickinson Stadium. Chelsea have won it on the halfway line, and Cole Palmer can stretch his legs and burst towards the Everton area. Plays it out to Estevao. Bright orange boots for his first touch. Plays it back into Cole Palmer. Threads it across. It takes a deflection behind, and that'll be the corner. Good defending by Michael Keane. It looked like it could have gone anywhere, but decided to, fortunately for Everton, bounce over the bar. Estevao in long sleeves and gloves goes over to take the corner on the far side. Fofana and Co come forward, whipped in with pace, and it's cannoned off the crossbar. Jordan Pickford's been left on the floor in his goal. Ends up out by the other corner flag by Garnacho. Plays it into Caicedo. Brilliant delivery from Estevao, who's just come on. Everton can steal it away with Dewsbury Hall on the far side. Plays it up to Dwight McNeil to chase. He will get there just inside the Chelsea half. Good breakaway from Everton now as Ilian Ndiaye picks it up and gets to the corner of the box. Floats in field and then shoots from distance, and it's saved by being patted down by Robert Sanchez. And he immediately throws it out to Garnacho. Chelsea with a bit more pace inserted to their build-up play at the moment. So they come over the halfway line with Cole Palmer. Over on that far side, Estevao takes over. Couple of step overs as he goes against Ndiaye, but then just knocks it into Cole Palmer instead. Everton with everyone back behind the ball now. Garnacho on the left takes over, drifts in field, finds João Hato, who shifts it out of his feet and then puts the ball in towards João Pedro. It's cleared everyone and it's smashed away by Ilian Ndiaye. And Beto will give chase here and actually will pick the ball up, but he's on his own and runs past Fofana, shrugs him off, but it's down by the corner and has to wait for support. Beto then plays it off and goes down. And Dewsbury Hall will keep it inside the centre circle. James Garner takes over, but Everton are controlling this game absolutely brilliantly, as they then send the ball back to Jordan Pickford, who's outside of his box, just drills it into the feet short of James Garner. Garner, who you've got to feel has been chosen by Thomas Tuchel to have a look at for the summer in that role, which the likes of Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson, Kobbie Mainoo, of course, back in the squad. He certainly does a brilliant job in there for Everton. And can be versatile on the right as well. I'm sure he will be absolutely delighted to join up with the England senior squad for the first time. England have got friendlies against Uruguay and Japan in the coming week. Santos comes forward, plays it into Estevao, who's got 3 around him, and Everton can steal it off of the young Brazilian. Andre Santos has gone over to try and help his fellow countryman, but it's cleared long by Mikalenko, only up to the halfway line, and Enzo Fernandez will take over. Fernandez plays now again. It's very slow from Chelsea in the build-up as Everton have got so many men back, and Estevao goes past Mikalenko, then through the legs of Ndiaye, breaks into the box on the right-hand side, gets to the goal line and pulls it across, and he'll win a corner. And Estevao is incredibly exciting, and he just sprints over to the corner and waves his arms at the travelling support that are in that area, trying to get a reaction from the Chelsea away supports. Esteban with both arms raised this time as comes in to deliver the in-swing. Again, it's right on top of Pickford and it's flapped away, and it will be out of play for a goal kick. So much pace from the young Brazilian, trying to get it right on top of the keeper, and it ended up missing everyone and bouncing out of play for the goal kick. Liam Rosenior frantically writing notes on his notepad as he's preparing another change. So Everton, who will have 3 weeks without a game due to international break, it will then go up against Brentford, but Beto wins the header on towards Ndiaye, who gets into the box on the right hand side, he shoots and curls it into the top corner, and Everton have 3, and it's a fantastic home performance from David Moyes' men. Ilian Ndiaye, he now goes on to 6 goals for the season, which seems to be the magic number if you're an Everton player. And it's Beto who managed to win the header from the long ball. Ndiaye got into the box on the left-hand side, cut back on his right foot and bent it beautifully into the top corner. And it's 3 goals for Everton, and it's surely 3 points as well. The Hill Dickinson Stadium is absolutely rocking. And the Senegalese winger, who would have had that disappointing news in the week as the African Federation announced that potentially Morocco might end up being victorious in that AFCON competition, was seen with his medal in midweek, and he's now bent one beautifully into the top corner. It's an exquisite finish, and it's a goal of the highest class again from Everton, and you have to say they completely deserve it. They've defended astutely and they've broken with direct play, and they've got the ball through the lines quickly, and they find themselves on the 77th minute 3 goals to the good, and surely home and dry. And that will put some pressure on Brentford later on to try and reclaim 7th place before the two of them go to battle in the next league game. David Moyes is going to make a change here. Dwight McNeil comes off and Jared Branthwaite will come on. Didn't feature in the last game, Jared Branthwaite, so he's back, and Chelsea makes some more changes, 2 more here. It's going to be Liam Delap for João Pedro, and Caicedo will come off, and it's Tosin Adrabayo who will replace him. So that is all the changes done for Liam Rosenior. And what is a miserable trip to Liverpool so far for his side. Forward come Chelsea though. On this left hand side, Branthwaite's gone into a back 5 now for Everton as David Moyes just tries to solidify everything up. He's going to be absolutely delighted with his side. They've stuck to the game plan perfectly. Find themselves 3 goals to the good with 12 minutes plus injury time left. So Chelsea were in possession, but a second ball has come onto the pitch, so referee Sam Barrett asked for that throw-in to be retaken. It's Enzo Fernandez who takes that one on. Plays it out to Wesley Fofana, who's the latest man to slot into that right-back role, and plays it on to the exciting Esteban. Has to come in field to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's asking for a bit more width on the right-hand side and doesn't get it, so just smashes it over to the left where Cucurella knocks it on first time, but it's going to be stolen away by Everton and cleared long by Pickford. Chested down by Adebayo, and forward come Chelsea again as Cole Palmer's dropping ever deeper to try and get himself on the ball. Finds Esteval, comes in on his left foot, gets to the edge of the area, sprints and still going, and then eventually runs out of room. But will win a corner. Trying to make things happen, Esteval, since coming on. Ball in from the corner is a poor one. That'll go out of play for a goal kick. And those Everton fans behind the goal are absolutely bouncing. Their win today would only put them 2 points behind Chelsea with 7 games to go. And only 3 points behind fierce rivals Liverpool in 5th. It's been a fantastic season for Everton. And David Moyes is going to ring a couple more changes here. And it's the man who's got 2. Beto is going to make way. 1 in the first half, a beautiful dinked chip over. And then a little bit of fortune with his second as Sanchez let it squirm through his legs. But it was struck with power in the 62nd minute. But he will make way on the 81st minute, and it will be Thierry Barry who comes on to maintain his record along with Beto of featuring in every Premier League game so far. And the French striker will immediately chase into the box here as Dewsbury Hall picks it up. It's a sliding tackle from Santos to slow him down, but Everton still have possession as Dewsbury Hall breaks in field. His pass is not a good one, and Liam Delap, who's back doing his defensive duty, wins the ball for his side as Garnacho comes forward. Garnacho gets a big shove from Jake O'Brien as referee Sam Barrett just points at the both of them to keep an eye on them. Bit of afters again between those two. Forward come Chelsea now with Cole Palmer. Tries to spin away from Garnagain and goes on his own. It's a good tackle from Mikalenko. And the Ukrainian can bring the ball away. Tries to clip it up the line, but a go play for a throw-in to the away side. Ball for Delap to chase, and he will keep it in down by the dead ball line. Has to go back to Esteval, who shifts it out of his feet, but only finds Cole Palmer. Chelsea working from right to left, where Garnacho and Jake O'Brien renew their rivalry, and it's Garnacho who just has to bump the ball back off to the nearest player. Back over on the right hand side now with Esteval, who's just toying with Mikalenko. Plenty of step overs, but forced infield. Chelsea retain possession, but every blue shirt back in their defensive shape to make life difficult. Just the back 7 now for Everton when they don't have the ball, just trying to really restrict Chelsea as Fernandes sends the ball into the box, headed away by Branthwaite, but will be recovered by Tosin Adebayo inside the centre circle. Ball from Santos into the feet of Cucurella, finds Delap, plays it to the left hand side for Garnacho, gets in on his right foot, plays it across, and it's poked away by Michael Keane. Again, Chelsea's not able to get a shot in on goal, and then Ndiaye fouls Enzo Fernandez, and that will be a free kick for Chelsea in a dangerous position. And Fernandez doesn't appreciate the tackle from Ilian Ndiaye, and those two have a bit of an argument between them. Garnacho's getting himself involved. Clear frustration from the away side. Cucurella now getting involved with Ndiaye as well. Pushing and shoving between the two, but referee Sam Barrett is just calming everyone down. Not really been that type of game. So it'll be Enzo Fernandez to deliver the free kick on the far side. Be a right-footed in-swing. Esteval's come over as well to offer a different option. 84 minutes on the watch. Sam Barrett just blows the whistles. We're ready to go, and it's Estevao who delivers it in towards the back post. It's punched away by the left hand of Jordan Pickford, and it falls at the feet of Garner Gay, and there's still a Chelsea player down as Everton break forward. This could be controversial as Kieran Dewsbury Hall's got plenty of space, gets into the box on the left hand side, goes on the outside and shoots, and it's saved by Robert Sanchez, and he picks it up at the second attempt. Good breakaway again from the home team. Still flooding forwards. Brilliant footwork from Dewsbury Hall. Forced a good save in the end. Garnacho comes forward on the left hand side, gets another shove from Jake O'Brien, and those two still continue to go at each other. Ball now with Estevao, who's picked himself up after being flattened from the corner. Plays a 1-2 with Cole Palmer, but again the experienced man of Garner Gay just comes in and steals the ball away. It's been a masterclass in midfield from Gay and Garner for Everton, and that is the battle that they've won. A throw in for Mykolenko right down by his own area, but continues to walk forwards and then throws it up the line towards Barry, but the header is by Fofana, but it will fall at the feet of Garner Gay, who slips past Fofana, and the French centre-back size him down. That will be a free kick and a yellow card for Wesley Fofana, his fourth of the season. And it's just frustration now for this Chelsea side. So free kick for Everton, which is going to be taken by Jordan Pickford on the halfway line. And he clips a lovely ball into Tiene Barry, who picks it up and plays it out towards Mykolenko on the left-hand side. But Estevao back doing his defensive work, then clears it long up towards Garnacho, but is met by the head of Tarkowski, who finds the feet of Ndai, and Everton again settling in possession inside the Chelsea half. Garner back to Jake O'Brien, and Everton would just eke out as much time as possible by sending it back to Jordan Pickford. Finds Jared Branthwaite, who lifts it up the line on the left-hand side, flicks it into Tiene Barry, and that'll be a throw-in for Everton. And Chelsea have just got to keep their heads here. Very frustrating night for them. Tiene Barry tries to get away from Hato, but the young Dutch defender comes away with it. And there's white shirts flooding forward if they can break quickly. Garnacho just turns around and knocks it back to Cucurella. Doesn't want to try and go past O'Brien as Enzo Fernandez comes forward and ends up losing out to Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, his former teammate. And then Ndai goes past Cucurella, wrestles him down to the floor. Ndai sits on his bottom and waves his arms, and clearly indicating to Sam Barrett that he feels that there might be some further action warranted on that one. That is going to be the final play for Ilian Ndai, who scored that wonderful third goal of the evening, and he gets a massive round of applause. And it's going to be Merlin Roll to come on to replace him. And Ndai getting high fives and hugs from everyone on the bench. And it's also going to be the end of the night for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who's replaced by Tim Irabunam. And David Moyes, I'm sure, would just be desperate to try and keep this clean sheet as we enter the final minute of the 90, before finding out how many minutes we will have added on. But it's been an absolute textbook David Moyes performance from his side, and they will head into the international break with 3 wins in their last 4, and that defeat, the only one that was away at Arsenal, which is obviously going to happen to a lot of teams already this season. And Everton will renew battles in the Premier League with Brentford away from home next up in 3 weeks' time. And they were either, well, they're going to be very close on points between them. Obviously, Brentford still to play this weekend. They play next 8 PM away at Leeds. But Everton have done their job. They will sit in 7th place as they finish tonight before Brentford play their match. We've got 5 minutes of injury time. David Moyes still out on his technical area, shouting instructions. Liam Racine is now sat on the bench. He's made all his subs, not really much he can do now. And he looks a bit forlorn as he's started life as Chelsea manager incredibly well, but it's now going to be 4 defeats in all competitions on the spin for his side. Home game with Port Vale next up for Chelsea in the FA Cup. A good one for them to try and get themselves back on track. Try and get themselves into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, as Chelsea still come forward with Garnacho on this right hand side. Delivers the ball in, and it's a very poor one.